All right, guys, this is question and answers. I'm going to try to get to a few. Try to keep it under 10 minutes. First one is from George. They actually asked me this one yesterday, and this is the reason that prompted me to get on here and start talking to you guys and answer his question was, what do you think about the 1-and-1 count in senior ball now? The new rule from last year, I think. What do you think about the 1-and-1 count? The way you approach, how does it affect the way you approach the game? This is the deal about that, and I know a lot of you guys hate it. I love it, and here's the reason why. I didn't start going to a 0-0 count till I started playing senior ball. Before that, I played U-Trip for years. We very seldom played ASA down here in San Antonio in Texas. A lot of U-Trip tournaments, so I played in all that. So in U-Trip, it's a 1-and-1 count anyway. So my approach changed from going to a 0-0 count. Now, going back to a 1-on-1 count, I went back to what I used to do when I played U-Trip, which was be more aggressive when you're at the plate. The thing about it is, you don't ever, with the pitching nowadays, you don't ever want to be caught behind in a count when it comes to softball, ever. I mean, in anything, you don't ever want to be, because then you're putting the pace of the game in the pitcher's hands. You don't want to do that. You want to be more aggressive. You want to attack the ball. And you got to get that mindset in BP when you go take BP, that first pitch that looks good, hit it. The problem with that is it's kind of like a mind game with the pitcher and with you when you go up there, because most of your good pitchers with a 1-on-1 count will trash that first pitch and they'll try to get you on a short pitch. And they'll kind of nibble on the front of that plate. And if they hit it, then, oh, shit, look what happens. You're down in the count, and you got to swing at anything. So now you got to swing at anything that he's throwing you. I think it's good for pitchers, too. I mean, you're defenseless when you're up there, and it's a 0-0 count, and he's got to try to nibble and get away and work. He's got to work harder. This way, he doesn't have to work harder. So I think, talking about the pitcher. But as a person, the way I approached it, as a player, the way I approached it would be, I'm more aggressive at the plate, which, with my whole mindset, I whenever it went to a 1-on-1 count, I changed the way I took batting practice. I would try to hit that low pitch, because I know that's what he's going to try to throw me to get nibble on that front plate. I would try to hit that low pitch down the line or 5-6 hole, because at the low pitch, it's hard to hit that ball up the middle, down and up the middle. So what I started doing is, when it went to a 1-on-1 count, I changed the way I thought about BP. I went back to what I used to do in U-Trip. And but I think it's good. Does it speed up the game? And the reason I know this, because I do videos of all my games for the last 9 years. And I kind of I know where I cut all the videos up, and I make a video, and the games used to be, I'm going to tell you right now, games used to be average an hour and 10 minutes. And with me cutting out the innings, it brought it down to about 50 minutes, 55 minutes, somewhere around there. But with the 1-on-1 count, it probably took off 5 minutes from the game. That's it, just 5 minutes. A lot of people say it's going to speed up the game. It does not. It speeds up the game, but not to what they think it's going to speed up the game. And I know that because I do the videos on them. I do the videos on the 1-on-1 count. And we don't get it. We get a little bit of time, maybe, to cut off of it, but that's it. I can tell you ways to speed up the game, but that's a whole different video. So, yeah, I like it. My approach is, and you need to start this in batting practice, especially this year. We're on downtime, and once we start getting ramped up, start doing this, and start going up with the mindset, right when you step in the plate, you're going to hit anything that's close. And just watching your pitch selection, basically. And if he's going to try to bite that first pitch, he's going to try to throw it low on you. Learn how to hit that pitch. Don't be afraid to try to take swings hitting a low pitch in batting practice, and hit it with authority too. But my first when I step into the batting box is, he's going to try to nibble low. He throws me anything high, I can tomahawk it. It's all about having weapons too, guys. That's another whole different video. When you walk up to the plate, you got to have weapons. You just can't have one weapon. one swing. You got to have 5 different swings, and that's a whole different video me and Billy are going to talk about later. Is you got to have weapons. Like Billy told me the other day, that's just a weapon you have in your little scenario of pitches, you know, a way hitting the ball. And that's the way I look at everything. You got to have weapons. You got to have what he throws. If he throws the ball high, what are you going to do with it? If he throws it low and inside, if he throws a gut pitch and you don't need a home run, what you're going to do with it? I mean, those are just different things I can talk about later on, but that's a whole different video. It's going to take a long time to do. This is from Ron. Well, no, I'm getting way ahead of myself. Tim, launch angles. God, we're already 5 minutes in this video. Launch angles. Not a big believer in launch angles, especially when it comes to slow pitch softball. Fast pitch, yes. Baseball, yes. But I was taught back in the day, in the 80s, about cutting the ball, and that took a while. It took a lot of BP till my hands bled, and I approached with hitting the ball down and hard. If you see videos of me hitting in the 80s, which I have them out there, I actually had a little bit of a uppercut with my swing. I changed that when I got to be in my late 20s, early 30s. I started tomahawking a little bit better, and I started cutting the ball down. And even to this day, I actually carried over from that, where if you watch the way I swing, I actually attack the ball in a downward. The plane of my back comes down and hard, and I cut it. It's harder to catch a ball on the ground than it is in the air. And that's my whole thought process. My batting average would go up. If you just get up there and start thinking about launch angles and just cutting the ball out, hitting the ball in the air, boom, boom, boom. I mean, we're limited on home runs, guys. So if somebody asks me, if my kids say, Dad, how can I increase my batting average? I would say, cut the ball down. Hit it down and hard. Hit it through somebody. That's another saying you used to hear. Hit it through somebody. That's hitting the ball down and hard. And you're going to get guys that are back on their heels on the infield, and they ain't going to catch shit, you know. It's easy to catch a fly ball. So that's what I think about launch angles. Not a big believer in launch angles. I know a lot of you guys like it. It's just the way I trained my body at a young age to hit the ball. And I look at it now going, well, that really doesn't, it teaches you how to hit the ball in the air and hit the ball deep, but you can hit the ball deeper by cutting the ball. Is what I'm trying to say. And it's hard to get cut the ball at the bottom half of the ball and get a launch angle, because that ball's going to go straight up in the air and just come back on you. You know, you got to hit the ball down and hard, and you can't do that with a launch angle. I don't think you can. Ron, taping bats. Now, this is going to be a separate video, and like 2 separate videos here that I'm going to talk about. I'm going to show you guys a short video on how I tape my bats, how Billy tapes his bats, and how Bubba tapes their bats. I don't like a lot of bat tape on the bat. The reason is because I like light handles. You put too much bat tape on a bat, and it just adds for weight. And I'm thinking way ahead of myself, because pine tar too. I love a lot of pine tar on my bats. I don't like putting a lot of pine tar on the bats for long periods of time, because it sticks on there. So what are you going to do? You're going to add 2 ounces, you know, in a good 4 months. Guarantee you put a lot of pine tar, you're going to add 2 ounces to that bat in like 2 or 3 months if you're playing a lot of ball or taking a lot of BP. So what I do is I retape my bat. I pull the pine tar off the tape, and I retape it again and just get other pine tar off, because I like that sticky feel. Not too sticky, but just that little bit of tackified grip on the bat. So I'm going to show you guys, and I don't even go up that far. I probably go up about this far on the handle, from the knob to the handle. That way, right when it stops here, no, there's no bat tape up here. Again, my theory is less handle weight, you know, and if I can cut off 2/3, 3/3 of an ounce, that's actually quite a bit, guys, when you're swinging a bat. I think that's quite a bit. Another thing too is I'm going to add on to that one. We're going to do another video on it. A lot of people, you guys have been watching Billy swing, and because Billy hits the ball really far back in the day, you know, and a lot of people try to look at the way he swings. And they're talking about the way he places his hands. He doesn't line up his knuckles, Dave. He doesn't line up his knuckles. And I'm going to try to get into a pretty long video about that, at least 10 minutes, 12 minutes, on why Billy doesn't line up his knuckles, or if he does line up his knuckles. I talked to him about it this morning. Hey, we need to do a video on the way you grip the bat. So a lot of people are interested in the way Billy grips the bat. Bubba's going to get in there and he's going to talk, because we have different hands. You know, they have these big old Sasquatch hands, and I have these I have wide hands. So my hands are wide, and I have a little finger and a little thumb. So totally different. So we're going to tell you guys how we grip it, where we grip it, palm and the hands, and how we line up our knuckles. And I'm going to give you guys my theory on this compared to that. Big difference. This is a big difference. When we talk about lining your knuckles up, that's a big difference than that. This is not good. That is better. This is something I need to talk to you guys about and just kind of clear some stuff up about that. Have you ever, I'm going to get to this when I'm done, and I'm going to leave that one for later because we're working on 10 minutes here. Have you ever tried football receiving gloves, the Tackified ones? You guys remember the Newmans back in the day? I swung those for probably, the beginning of a year, and it's real hot down here in San Antonio, so what would happen was they would get sweaty. I love the Tackified grip. The palms were too thick for me. And when you would sweat in them, they would expand. So you actually were sticking your hand like a sack. I mean, it was like you can move it around, and you can stick your fingers out, you can move your fingers in it. I like batting gloves that are thin and tight, where I can barely pinch. That's what I like about the batting gloves I use right now. I'm not going to tell you whose they are. I'm not going to promote them. They're really thin. Now during BP, I'll use the AT Allen Tanner bats. Batting gloves, Team 1 sports batting gloves when I'm hitting BP. But when I'm in a game, I grab the thinnest batting gloves, and I usually have 2 or 3 pairs just in case I sweat in them. I don't like hitting I'm OCD, man. I don't like hitting in sweaty batting gloves. So I use on fresh ones by every couple of games when I'm playing in a tournament, and dry the other ones out and use them again next morning. But I have used the Newmans. I'm not a big fan. I'd rather just spray pine tar as much as I want to on there. I'm not a big, thick pine tar guy. I like a little bit of Tackified grip, and that's it. Bubba likes it same way. He doesn't like a lot of Tackified grip, just a little bit. Billy can care less. He can swing whatever shit. Billy can swing anything barehanded. And I've seen him swing with 2 batting gloves too. So we'll get his I'll talk with them about that too. But this is it, guys. I'm into 12 minutes already. I want to make these around 10, 12 minutes, and I'll bring out the rest of these questions I didn't even get to answer today. I'll answer those next couple of days, and I'll put a video out. Hey guys, stay safe out there. Thanks.